जय श्री गोविंद गोपीनाथ मदन मोहन जू की जय। नित्य विश्वम विष्णुपाद रशत रशत शिमार भक्तिवेदांत नारायण गोस्वामी महाराज श्री गुरुदेव की जय। नित्य विश्वम विष्णुपाद रशत रशत शिमार भक्तिवेदांत वामन गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। नित्य विश्वम विष्णुपाद रशत रशत शिमार भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी महाराज श्री प्रभुपाद की जय। नित्य विष्णुम विष्णुपाद रशत रशत शिमार भक्ति प्रज्ञान केशव गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। नित्य विष्णुम विष्णुपाद अष्टोत्तर शत शिमार भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय। नित्य विष्णु महाभागवत श्री अक्षर बाबाजी महाराज की जय। नित्य विश्व श्री सच्चिदानंद भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर की जय। नित्य विष्णु वैष्णव सार्वभौम श्री जगन्नाथ दास बाबाजी महाराज की जय। श्री रूपानुगौरी गुरु वार्ग की जय। श्री रूप सनातन भट्ट रघुनाथ श्री जीव गोपाल पतदास रघुनाथ शार गोस्वामी प्रभु की जय। श्री स्वरूप दामोदर राय रामानंदारी श्री गौर पार्षद वृंद की जय। नाम जय श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासरी गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री क्षेत्र मंडल गौर मंडल व्रज मंडल मथुरा वृंदावन धाम की जय। सर्व अभिष्ट प्रदत्त गिरिराज महाराज की जय। श्री राधा कुंड श्याम कुंड की जय। श्री यमुना देवी गंगा देवी की जय। श्री तुलसी महारानी वृंद देवी की जय। श्री भक्ति देवी की जय। श्री पूर्णमासी योगमाया की जय। श्री गोपेश्वर महादेव की जय। श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद्-भागवतम की जय। श्री विश्वनाथ चक्रवर्ती ठाकुर कृत सारार्थ-दार्शिनी वृत्ति की जय। श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। श्री निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। ओम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। नमो ॐ विष्णुपदाय राधिकाय प्रियात्मने श्रीमद्भक्तिवेदान्त नारायणेति नामिने। नमो ॐ विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनेति नामिने। वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। गुरवे गौरचन्द्राय राधिकाय तदालये कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः। यं प्रव्रजन्तमनुपेतमपेतकृतं द्वैपायनो विरहकातर आजुहाव पुत्रेति तन्मयतया तरवोऽभिनेदुस्तं सर्वभूतहृदयां मुनिमानतोऽस्मि। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। शृण्वतं स्वकथा कृष्ण पुण्यश्रवणकीर्तन हृदन्तस्तो ह्यभद्राणि विधुनोति सुहृत्सतम्। नष्टप्रायेष्वभद्रेषु नित्यं भगवत सेवया भगवत्युत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। तवैवास्मि न जीवामि त्वया विना इति विज्ञाय राधे त्वां नायमां चरणान्तिकम्। भक्त्या विहीन अपराधलक्षाय क्षिप्ताष्टकामादितरङ्गमध्ये कृपामयि त्वां शरणं प्रपन्ना वृन्दे नमस्ते चरणारविन्दं। भज श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hari Bol, Kishori Mohan Prabhu, Radhe Radhe, Madhavi Didi Dandavat Pranam, Prajumna Prabhu, Mantramurti Mataji, Madhavanand Prabhu, Hari Bol, Raseshwari Mataji. Oh, your mother's asking how Govardhan. Yeah, Govardhan Parikrama was nice. Still need to do the second half. All right, so let's just get right into it. Sorry, I'm a little late. I've been late every day for a while now. Oops, wrong book. Dang it. Okay, so I'll just read the translations for all the verses leading up. Okay, so chapter 41, Kṛṣṇa and Balarāma enter Mathurā. So we read up to verse 10 in this chapter yesterday, so I'll just read the translations up to that point. So after Shukadeva Goswami, the previous chapter is Shukadeva Goswami. Sorry, on the previous chapter is Akrura's prayers. And so now Shukadeva Goswami said, while Akrura was still offering prayers, the Supreme Lord withdrew his form that he had revealed in the water, just as an actor winds up his performance. When Akrura saw the vision disappear, he came out of the water and quickly finished his various ritual duties. He then returned to the chariot, astonished. Could you give me one second? I just need to get some water. My mouth's dry. Sorry, I didn't drink anything yet today. My mouth is dry. Okay. So Lord Krishna asked Akrura, have you seen something wonderful on the earth, in the sky, or in the water? From your appearance, we think you have. Sri Akrura said, whatever wonderful things the earth, the sky, or water contain, all exist in you. Since you encompass everything, when I am seeing you, what have I not seen? And now that I am seeing you, O Supreme Absolute Truth, in whom reside all amazing things on the earth, in the sky, and in the water, what amazing things could I see in this world? With these words, Akrura, the son of Gandhini, began driving the chariot onward. At the end of the day, he arrived in Mathura with Lord Balaram and Lord Krishna. Wherever they passed along the road, O king, the village people came forward and looked upon the two sons of Vasudeva with great pleasure. In fact, the villagers could not withdraw their eyes from them. Nanda Maharaj and the other residents of Vrindavan, having reached Mathura ahead of the chariot, had stopped at the garden on the outskirts of the city to wait for Kṛṣṇa and Balarāma. Okay, so we read, After joining Nanda and the others, the Supreme Lord Krishna, the controller of the universe, took humble Akrura's hand in his own and smiling, spoke as follows. Bhavan pravishyatam agre sahayana purim griham vayam tviha vamuchyata tatta drakshamahe purim. Lord Krishna said, take the chariot and enter the city ahead of us, then go home. After resting here a while, we will go to see the city. Sārārtha-darśinī Vritti by Śrīla Viśvanātha Ṭhākura. Krishna said, you go ahead to your house in the city with a chariot. We will rest here and then see the city. Shri Akrura Uvacha Naham Bhavadbhyam Rahita Pravekshe Maturang Prabho Tyaktum Narhasimam Natha Bhaktim Te Bhaktavatsala. Shri Akrura said, O Master, without the two of you, I shall not enter Mathura. I am your devotee, O Lord. So it is not fair for you to abandon me, since you are always affectionate to your devotees. Agacha yamagehana sanatan kurvadhokshaja sahagraja sagopalai suhridbhischa suhrittama. Come, let us go to my house with your elder brother, the cowherd men, and your companions. O best of friends, O transcendental Lord, in this way please grace my house with its master. Commentary. Akura said, Krishna, come to my home along with the Vrajavasis. I will not visit Kamsa and inform him of your arrival now. How can I announce that he will die the day after tomorrow? I do not have a speck of fear from him, because I have seen your powers in the Yamuna. Also, there will be no lack of things in my house. Therefore, let us all go there. Punihi padarajasa grihanno grihamedhinam yachochena yachochenanutripyanti pitara sagnaya suraha. I am simply an ordinary householder attached to ritual sacrifices. So please purify my home with the dust of your lotus feet. By that act of purification, my forefathers, the sacrificial fires, and the demigods will all become satisfied. Commentary. Akrura said, the purified water from washing the dust of your feet, which will fall on my head and in the courtyard of my house, will satisfy all the demigods, sacrificial fires, and my ancestors. Av Avanijang Yugalam Asit Shlokyo Balir Mahan Aishvaryam Atulam Lebhe Gatim Chaikantinam Tuya. By bathing your feet, the exalted Bali Maharaj attains not only glorious fame and unequaled power, but also the final destination of pure devotees. Commentary. Akrura said, by washing your feet, Bali Maharaj attained a position of great fame. He attained unrivaled power and the destination of the pure devotees. Apastengri avane janyas trilokan shuchayo punan shirasad dhatayas sharva swaryatha sagaratmaja. The water of the river Ganges has purified the three worlds, having become transcendental by bathing your feet. Lord Shiva accepted that water on his head, and by that water's grace, the sons of King Sagar attained to heaven. Commentary. The word Apa refers to the water of the Ganga. Akrura said, that spiritual water of the Ganga, which washed your feet, is held upon Shiva's head. It purifies the three worlds and awarded Swarga Mukti to the descendants of King Sagar. Deva Deva Jagannatha Punya Shravana Kirtana Yadutta Muttama Shloka Narayana Namostute. O Lord of Lords, Master of the universe, O you whose glories it is most pious to hear and chant. O best of the Yadus, O you whose fame is recounted in excellent poetry, O Supreme Lord Narayan, I offer you my obeisances. Commentary. Akrura said, O Deva Deva, you shine among all the demigods. Today, please illuminate my house. You are the Lord of the universe, Jagannath, so now become the Lord of my house. You purify anyone who hears and chants your glories. Punya Shravana Kirtana. So please purify my house today. O best of the Yadus, Yaduttama, please come to my house, as I am also a Yadu. O Uttama Shloka, famous as the deliverer of the fallen, please purify my fallen household. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Ayasye bhavato geham ahamarya samanvita yadu chakra druham hatva vitarishye suhrit priyam. The Supreme Lord said, I will come to your house with my elder brother, but first I must satisfy my friends and well-wishers by killing the enemy of the Yadu clan. Commentary. Krishna said, O Akrura, you have correctly called me the best of the Yadus. Therefore, I will first kill Kṛṣṇa, the enemy of the Yadu clan, and then I will come to your house. Shishuka Uvacha Evam ukto bhagavata sokruror vimana iva purim pravishta kangsaya karma vedya griham yayo. Shukadev Goswami said, thus addressed by the Lord, Akrura entered the city with a heavy heart. He informed King Kṛṣṇa of the success of his mission and then went home. Ataparahne Bhagavan Krishna Sankarshananvita Mathuram Pravishar Gopar Didrikshu Parivarita. Lord Krishna desired to see Mathura. So toward evening, he took Lord Balaram and the cowherd boys with him and entered the city. Commentary. In the afternoon, Krishna, along with Balaram and a circle of his cowherd friends, Krishna and a circle of his cowherd friends entered Mathura to see the city. Dadarshatam Spartika Tunga Gopura Dvaram Brihadhema Kapatatoranam Tamrara Koshtam Parika Durasadam Udyana Ramyo Pavano Pashobhitam Sovarna Shringataka Harmya Nishkutai Shreni Sabhabhir Pavanar Upaskritam Vaidurya Vajra Malanila Vidrumai Mukta Haridbhir Valabhishu Vedishu Jeshteshu Jala Mukarandra Kurtimeshvavishta Paravatabarhi Nanditam Samsiktaratyapanamamarga Chatvaram Prakirnamalayankura Lajatandulam Malya, sorry, whatever. Apurna Kumbhara Dadi Chandanokshitai Prasuna Dipa Valibi Sapallavai Savrindarambha Kramukhai Sakethubi Swalankrita Dvara Griham Sapatikai. The Lord saw Mathura with its tall gates and household entrances made of crystal, its immense archways and main doors of gold, its granaries and other storehouses of copper and brass, and its impregnable moats. Beautifying the city were pleasant gardens and parks. The main intersections were fashioned of gold, and there were mansions with private pleasure gardens, along with guild halls and many other buildings. Mathura resounded with the calls of peacocks and pet turtle doves, who sat in the small openings of the lattice windows on the gem-studded floors, and also on the columned balconies and on the ornate rafters in front of the houses. These balconies and rafters were adorned with Vaidurya stones, diamonds, crystal quartz, sapphires, coral, pearls, and emeralds. All the royal avenues and commercial streets were sprinkled with water, as were the side roads and courtyards, and flower garlands, newly grown sprouts, parched grains, and rice. Parched grains and rice had been scattered about everywhere. Gracing the house's doorways were elaborately decorated pots filled with water, which were bedecked with mango leaves, smeared with yogurt and sandalwood paste, and encircled by flower petals and ribbons. Near the pots were flags, rows of lamps, bunches of flowers, and the trunks of banana and betel nut trees. Commentary. 4 verses 20 to 23, describe the city of Mathura. The tall towers and gates, as well as the gates of the houses, were made of crystal. The door panels and outer doors were made of gold. The storerooms for grains were made of brass and copper. Surrounded by moats, the city was difficult to enter. Text 21 to 22. The intersections were made of gold. There were mansions with large gardens and buildings for the different craftsmen to meet, as well as other dwellings. The rafters were inlaid with emeralds and other jewels. The buildings echoed with the cries of the doves and peacocks, which sat on the rafters, floors, and balconies. According to Kṣiraswami, Vallabhishu refers to the peak of the roof, and according to Halayuddha, Vallabhi refers to the roof. According to Trikandashesha, a Vallabhi is a lookout tower. In any case, it refers to the top part of the building. Vedishu refers to a terrace for relaxing, made in front of a house out of bricks and so on. The windows had lattices to let in fresh air. The floors were inset with mosaics of precious gems. There were main roads, lanes lined with shops, pathways, and courtyards. Text 23. Kṛṣṇa saw that the doors of the houses were nicely ornamented with full water pots decorated with flowers and smeared with yogurt and sandalwood paste, and 5 other auspicious elements. The full water pots were placed in the following manner. On either side of each doorway, above piles of raw rice, On either side of each doorway, above piles of raw rice, is a pot. Encircling each pot are flower petals. On its neck are ribbons, and on its mouth are leaves of mango and other trees. Above each pot, on a gold plate, are rows of lamps. On either side of each pot are banana tree trunks. In front and behind each pot is a betel nut tree. Flags are leaning against the pots, and ornamental arches are arrayed here and there. Very specific. Tam sampravishto vasudevanandano vrito vayasyar naradeva vartmana drashtum samiyus tvarita purastriyo harmyani chaivaruruhur dripotsuka. The women of Mathura hurriedly assembled and went forth to see the 2 sons of Vasudeva as they entered the city on the king's road, surrounded by their cowherd boyfriends. Some of the women, my dear king, eagerly climbed to the roofs of their houses to see them. Commentary. In order to see Kṛṣṇa and Balarāma entering Mathura on the wide royal road, the women of Mathura came forward in groups. Some ladies climbed onto the rooftops of the mansions. One second, just want to see. Haribo Bhavatarani Mataji and Hari Prabhu. Okay. Kaśchid viparyag dhritavastarabhushana vismrita chaikam yugaleshvatapara kritai kapatra shavanai kanupura nanktva dvitiyam tvaparashchalochanam. Some of the ladies put their clothes and ornaments on backwards. Others forgot one of their earrings or ankle bells, and others applied makeup to one eye, but not the other. Commentary. This verse and the next describe the eagerness of the women of Mathura. In rushing out to see Kṛṣṇa, they put their clothing on backwards and forgot some ornaments. Thus they appeared with only one earring and one anklet. Some women applied kajal, mascara, to only the left eye. Ashnanta ekastarupasya sotsava abhyajamana akritotpamajana swapanta uthaya nishamya nisvanam prapayayantyorbha upohyamatara. Those who were taking their meals abandoned them. Others went out without finishing their baths or massages. Women who were sleeping at once arose when they heard the commotion, and mothers breastfeeding their infants simply put them aside. Commentary. Some women gave up eating their meals, and some even interrupted ceremonies such as wedding rites and abruptly left without circumambulating their husbands. Whoa, that's very extreme. Others, being massaged with oil by their maidservants, gave up the massage. Without even completing their bath, others left while their bodies were still wet. Women who were attentively feeding their newborn babies immediately gave them up and left. Could you imagine that? A lady walking around the fire getting married with her husband and just running off all of a sudden? Okay. Manang sitasam aravindalochana pragalbalila hasita valokai jaharamatta dviradendra vikramo drisham dadachri ramanath manotsavam. The lotus-eyed Lord, smiling as he recalled his bold pastimes, captivated those ladies' minds with his glances. He walked with the gait of an lordly elephant in rut. An elephant in rut. I don't know what rut means actually. Creating a festival for their eyes. Okay. A long track made by repeated passage of wheels and vehicles. Okay. Route. Oh, in route. Got it. Okay. So he walked with the gait of a lordly elephant in rut, creating a festival for their eyes with his transcendental body, which is the source of pleasure for the divine goddess of fortune. Commentary. With that body which is radiantly beautiful, Kṛṣna gave pleasure and playful enjoyments to the ladies of Mathurā. His handsome body created a festival for their eyes and stole their minds. This indicates that by pleasing their eyes, Kṛṣna bewildered them, and without their noticing, he stole the jewel of their minds. Drishtva muhurshutamana tat prekshanot-smita sudhokshana labdhamana anandamurtamupaguhya trishatma labdham Drishyatvacho jahuranantam arindamadhim. The ladies of Mathurā had repeatedly heard about Kṛṣna, and thus, as soon as they saw him, their hearts melted. They felt honored that he was sprinkling upon them the nectar of his glances and broad smiles. Taking him into their hearts through their eyes, they embraced him, the embodiment of all ecstasy. And as their bodily hairs stood on end, O subduer of enemies, they forgot the unlimited distress caused by his absence. Commentary. Their hearts melted upon looking at Kṛṣna. They felt greatly honored to be sprinkled with the nectar of Kṛṣna's sweet smiles and glances. They freely embraced the embodiment of bliss, whom they had obtained in their minds by glancing at Kṛṣna from just one of their eyes. By this, they gave up the distress generated from his absence. By the phrase, O subduer of enemies, Shukadeva Goswami implies that by hearing and meditating on such pastimes as this, one can conquer the enemy of lusts, anger, greed, and envy. Prasadashikaruradha Pritutpula Mukambhuja Abhyavarshan Somanasyai Pramada Balakeshavo. Their lotus faces blooming with affection, the ladies who had climbed to the roofs of the mansions rained down showers of flowers upon Lord Balaram and Lord Kṛṣṇa. The women began to shower flowers in the form of their smiles, or they showered flowers in the form of actions indicating that their minds were delighted in love. Tadakshatai sodapatrai sragandhar abhupayanai tav anarchu pramuditas tatra tatra dvijataya. Brahmans standing along the way honored the two lords with presentations of yogurt, unbroken barley corns, pots full of water, garlands, fragrant substances such as sandalwood paste, and other items of worship. Uchupora aho gopyas tapakim acharan mahat yahetav anupashyanti naraloka mahotsavo. The women of Mathura exclaimed, "Oh, what severe austerities the gopis must have performed to be able to regularly see Kṛṣṇa and Balarāma, who are the greatest source of pleasure for all mankind." Commentary. The word pora refers to the women living in the city, the Pur of Mathura. Rajakam kanchirayantam rangakaram gadagraja drishtva ya chatava sangsi dhotanyatuttamani. Seeing a washerman approaching who had been dyeing some clothes, Kṛṣṇa asked him for the finest laundered garments he had. Commentary. One who washes clothing is called Rajaka. If he also dyes clothing, he is called Rangakar. Dehyavayo samuchitan yangavasangsi charhato bhavishyati param shreyo dhatuste natra sangshaya. Lord Kṛṣṇa said, "Please give us suitable garments to the two of us, who certainly deserve them. If you grant this charity, you will undoubtedly receive the greatest benefit." Sayachito Bhagavata Paripurnena Sarvata Sakshepam Rushita Praha Bhrityo Ragya Sudurmada. Thus requested by the Supreme Lord, who is perfectly complete in all respects, that arrogant servant of the king became angry and replied insultingly, Edrishanyeva vasangsi nityam giri vanechara paridhatta kimudvritta rajadravanya abhipsata. The washerman said, "You impudent boys, you're accustomed to roaming the mountains and forests, and yet you dare put on such clothes as these? These are the king's possessions you are asking for." Commentary. Udvrita means one who has deviated from good conduct. The washerman said, "O you who have transgressed the bounds of good behavior, O ill-mannered boys, you dare put on the king's clothing?" By the influence of Mother Saraswati, the washerman's words can also mean, "O boys of excellent character," because ud can mean utkrishta, charitra, who herd cows on Govardhan. Would you ever wear such mundane clothes as these? Certainly not. Therefore, even in play, why would you want to don the impure things of a king? The Amar Kosh dictionary says vritam padye charitre cha, which means the word vrita can indicate a footstep or activity, and is thus and is used in all three genders. Yatashu balisha maivam prarthyam yadi jijivisha Bandhanati gnanti lumpanti driptam raja kulani vai. Fools, get out of here quickly. Don't be like this if you want to stay. Don't beg like this if you want to stay alive. When someone is too bold, the king's men arrest him and kill him and take all his property. Commentary. The normal meaning of the verse is clear. However, there is another meaning. The washerman said, "O Bhagavan, who on the pretext of taking 3 steps of land, O Bhagavan, who on the pretext of taking 3 steps of land, claims the body of Bali Maharaj. You should not request this. You should not request in a way. You should not request in this way if you want to keep me alive. Just as Bali fell into danger by giving in charity, if I give you clothes, then my life will be over today. The servants of the king will bind up that person who is not afraid of Kṛṣṇa, and after informing Kṛṣṇa, they will kill him and loot his house." Evam vikatamanasya kupito devaki sutta rajakasya karagrena shirakayar apatayat. As the washerman thus spoke brazenly, the son of Devaki became angry, and then, merely with his fingertips, he separated the man's head from his body. Tasyana jivina sarve vasakoshan visrijavai tudruvu sarvato margam vasangsi jagrihe chuta. The washerman's assistants all dropped their bundles of clothes and fled down the road, scattering in all directions. Lord Krishna then took the clothes. Whoa, that's pretty. Anyways, commentary: the assistants of the washerman dropped the bundles of clothing and fled. Vasitvatma priye vastre Krishna sankarshanastata Sheshanyadatta gopebhyo visirija bhuvikanichit. Krishna and Balaram put on pairs of garments that especially pleased them, and then Krishna distributed the remaining clothes among the cowherd boys, leaving some scattered on the ground. Tatastu vayaka pritas tayorvesham akalpayat vichitra varnashchaileyar akalpar anurupata. Thereupon a weaver came forward and, feeling affection for the lords, nicely adorns their attire with cloth ornaments of various colors. Commentary. The Vayakai is one who weaves using bamboo. He dressed Krishna and Balaram in soft silk cloth of gold color embedded with jewels and ornaments. The word anurupata indicates that the colors matched very nicely. Anurupata also means that in Krishna and Balaram's pastime of becoming wrestlers, cloth ornaments will be suitable because they will not pain their bodies. Nana lakshana veshabhyam Krishna Ramo virejatu svalankrito balagajo parvani vasite taro. Krishna and Balaram looked resplendent, each in his own unique, wonderfully ornamented outfit. They resembled a pair of young elephants, one white and the other black, decorated for a festive occasion. Commentary. Krishna and Balaram were decorated with cloth suitable for their different colored bodies. They appeared like young processional elephants, one white and the other black, at a festival. Tasya prasanno bhagavan pradat sarupyamatmana Shriyam cha paramam loke balaishvarya smritindriyam. Pleased with the weaver, the Supreme Lord, pleased with the weaver, The Supreme Lord Krishna blessed him that after death he would achieve the liberation of attaining a form like the Lord's, and that while in this world he would enjoy supreme opulence, physical strength, influence, memory, and sensory vigor. Commentary. Krishna was very happy, so he immediately blessed the weaver with dexterity of the senses, memory, power, and strength. After death, he would attain the spiritual body of a cowherd. Whoa, that's really cool. He becomes a cowherd in the next life. Tatasu damno bhavanam malakarasya jagmatu to drishtva sa samuthaya nanama shirasa bhuvi. The two lords then went to the house of the garlands maker Sudama. When Sudama saw them, he at once stood up and then bowed down, placing his head to the ground. Commentary. This verse describes how after dressing and putting on ornaments, one put on a garland. Tayor asanamaniya. Sorry. Tayor. Okay. Tayor asanam aniya padyam chargyarhanadivi pujam sanu gayosh chakre sraktam bulanulepipanai. After offering them seats and bathing their feet, Sudama worshipped them and their companions with arghya, garlands, pan, sandalwood paste, and other presentations. Prahana sartakam janma pavitam chakulam prabho pitri devarshayo mahyam tushta gamane navam. Sudama said, O Lord, my birth is now sanctified, and my family free of contamination. Now that you have both come here, my forefathers, the demigods, and the great sages are certainly all satisfied with me. Pavanto kila vishvasya jagata karanam param avatirnav iham shena kshemaya cha bhavaya cha. You two lords are the ultimate cause of this entire universe. To bestow sustenance and prosperity upon this realm, you have descended with your plenary expansions. Nahi vang vishamadrishti suhridor jagaratmano samayo sarvabhuteshu bhajantam bhajatorapi. Because you are